guys, we have information on update 2.3. Update 2.3. You can do !update in the channel, which gives you the link to what I'm looking at. Or if you are watching this currently on YouTube, I'm going to have the link down below in the description. So basically, we have an update and we know what the 4 new Halloween champs are going to be. And we know which one of them is going to be for the Fragment event. So here we go. New Halloween champs. New Halloween champs. The first one, Elegaius. I would love to know how you pronounce his name. Elligaius. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but this is the legendary support magic champ that's part of the Undead Horde faction. And this champ is going to be the one for the Fragments events next week. New legendary. And this is what his kit looks like. Spirits of Spite. Attacks an enemy. 25% chance of placing a block cooldown skill debuff for 1 turn. And the chance increases by 0.75% for every 1% of HP this champion loses. Yeah, you know what? I know you guys are talking about his design. It kind of reminds me of like Venom or something. It reminds me of Venom. Dead Stop. Attacks an enemy. Puts the target's skills on cooldown. If the enemy team has any duplicates of the target champion, also puts all their skills on cooldown. Like that's an interesting one, huh? If the enemy team has duplicates of the target, puts all their skills on cooldown. Interesting. Ghost Rage. Attacks all enemies. Has a 75% chance of removing 2 random buffs. 75% chance of decreasing all enemy turn meters by 20% and decreases enemy turn meters by a further 0.2% for every 1% of HP this champion loses. So it really seems like a lot of what he has is cooldown, like it affects cooldowns, right? Bye-bye Double Trunda. He'll be an issue to deal with in Arena. It seems like it, yeah. It seems like he'll be an issue to deal with in Arena. It definitely seems like it. Lots of crowd control. Oh, you're thinking he's kind of like Thenasil. True, he can kind of be like Thenasil. And then here's his passive. His passive is Spurned by Death, and it's a passive, keep that in mind. Prevents this champ's death and keeps them alive on 1 HP when hit by a fatal hit. If this skill prevents this champ's death, it heals them by 10% of max HP, fills the turn meter by 20%, places a shield buff on them equal to 30% of max HP for 2 turns. But it does not prevent this champ's death if they're under a block heal debuff. That's a bit of an insane passive. Guys. Prevents death, it keeps them alive at 1 HP, then heals them. Interesting. You guys think it could be good in Spider? We're talking crowd control, definitely Arena, especially with the keeps them alive for 1 HP when hit with a fatal hit. Very interesting. That's such an interesting kit. Like I don't think we have another champ that does this, right? If I think about it, I don't think there's anyone that does this. So this is the brand new legendary support champ that will be part of the Fragments fusion event next week. So this is the guy. The next champ is Little Miss Annie. Little Miss Annie. She is a legendary void. Attack for undead. Yeah, she's creepy. She's definitely the creepy doll. And here's her kit. Pretty Nails. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Hollow Doll. Attacks the enemy 2 times. A 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns if the target is under a shield buff. ignores 25% of the target's defense if the target's under a shield, and places a perfect veil buff on this champ if the attack kills the enemy. Also fills this champion's turn meter by 30% if this attack does not kill the target. Playdates. Attacks an enemy, ignores 25% of the target's defense if the target has higher defense than this champion. Decreases the target's max HP by 25% of the damage inflicted if the target has higher max HP than this champ. Will repeat the attack a second time if the target has both higher defense and higher max HP than this champ. So that is Playdate. Toys don't die. Passive. This is her passive. When revived, attacks the enemy that killed this champ with the default skill. Also fills the champ's turn meter by 25% and places a shield buff on this champ equal to 50% of max HP for 2 turns. And she has another passive called Magical Hearts. Magical Heart. So this one, each hit has a 50% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 5%, and a 50% chance of decreasing the target's max HP by 5% of the damage inflicted when attacking enemies under heal reduction. Also heals this champ by 5% of the damage inflicted when attacking enemies under heal reduction. Will not heal from damage inflicted by masteries. She holds a grudge. Apparently she does. And her aura increases ally attack in all battles by 33%. So what are you guys thinking so far with these legendaries? Are we thinking there's some more stuff coming in the Doom Tower, that these champs could be very helpful for? Almost, right? Almost. So this one is Little Miss Annie. We have Narma the Returned. Now this is the one I've been hearing a lot about that people seem to like the most, is Narma. So Narma is a legendary support. She's magic affinity and she's for Night Revenant. The other two are undead. She is Night Revenant. So Hell Crescent attacks an enemy, has a 40% chance of increasing the duration of 3 random debuffs on the target by 1 turn. By 1 turn. Okay. Attacks an enemy, 40% chance of increasing duration of 3 random debuffs on the target for 1 turn. That's what I was gonna say, is it sounds like she could be so good for Clan Boss. So good. Really, really good. Really good. Weirding Dance. Attacks an enemy. 75% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff. Also heals all allies by 15% of the champ's max HP. The heal increases by 2% for each poison on the target. Again, Clan Boss. Clan Boss. Right? Because when most people get with Clan Boss, you're putting poisons on them. So already, heals allies by 50% max HP. The heal increases by 2% for each poison debuff on the target, on top of increase in duration by 1 turn. So that's really nice for Clan Boss already. She seems the best so far. I absolutely agree. Of the 3 legendaries, Narma seems the best. Toxin Trance. Attacks an enemy. 75% chance of placing 3 5% poison debuffs and a 25% poison sensitivity buff for 3 turns. Again, that's huge. Talk about poisons and Clan Boss. This is a really, really nice kit. Really, really nice kit. And her auras increases ally accuracy in dungeons by 80. So I think a lot of you are with me in probably liking her the best of all of the Legos, right? She definitely seems the best of all of the Legos. By far. Is her. And then the 4th champ is called Masked Fearmonger. Masked Fearmonger. So this one is an epic. The other ones are legendaries. This one's an epic. Attack type, Spirit Affinity for Bannerlords. This one's for Bannerlords. So he's got a mask. You know, we kind of got the Jason thing going on, right, for Halloween. Nightmare. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit decreases the target's turn meter by 7.5% if the target is under Fear or True Fear. And reduces the cooldown of this champ's Taste of Despair passive skill by 1 turn if his attack kills an enemy. Haunted Machete. Attacks an enemy, 75% chance of placing Fear for 1 turn, and 75% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff. 75% chance of placing True Fear on 2 enemies for 1 turn if this attack kills an enemy. 1 True Fear debuff will be placed on the enemy with the lowest turn meter, while 1 will be placed on the enemy with the highest turn meter. Interesting, right? Oh my gosh, Gooch. Oh my gosh. Well-used axe. The basic is attacks an enemy, ignores a 35% of target's defense if the target's under Fear or True Fear. And Ascended is ignores 35% of target's defense if the target's under a Fear or True Fear. 30% increased speed buff for 2 turns, revive on death buff for 2 turns, and block debuff buff for 1 turn on this champ if the attack kills an enemy. And then Taste of Despair for the passive is fills this champion's turn meter by 50% whenever an enemy's HP drops below 20%. So guys, these are the 4 new Halloween champs. Now, the way it usually works is this was just announced today. You see October 22nd, just announced today. So usually how this works is they tend to make announcements about 1 week before the patch and things go live. So I'm expecting these champs to be live next week, probably next Wednesday, Thursday is what I'm expecting. And like we said, we also know that this guy is going to be the Fragments summon. This is going to be the Fragments one that we are going to be working on for next week. So it makes sense that they would have this live ready to go like Wednesday, Thursday, right? And the last thing that is in this notice is Lydia. Lydia. We mean Kerrigan. Lydia Kerrigan. Lydia Kerrigan. And we know again that she's going to be a reward for completing Faction Wars. She's going to be a reward for completing Faction Wars. They did also add a couple more things here too we can look at. Is they're going to be adding an FAQs to the side menu in the Bastion, which is kind of cool. Bazaar Editions. 3 new player avatars are going to be added to the Bazaar in Gold tier. They're going to appear at random in a single slot and remain available for 30 days, and then cycles to the next one. Each avatar is available for purchase once per account. So there's going to be 3 new avatars added to the Bazaar, and then just some miscellaneous stuff that's here. And then just some miscellaneous. What was the 3rd one? So King, the 3rd one is Narma. This is the one everybody's been talking about. She's the best one. She's probably the best one of this group is going to be Narma. So if the kids end up getting her, King, she's clan boss. You're definitely going to put her on clan boss because she's very, very good for that. With her increasing duration, she increases the duration of 3 random debuffs on the target, which is great for clan boss. And she does her poisons, poison sensitivity. She's pretty much a Frozen Banshee plus, right? That's the way I see it. She's kind of like Frozen Banshee plus. So she's just going to be really, really good. Really, really good for that. Bee's excited, little one not so much. That's okay. I mean, we don't exactly know what they look like yet, but she's going to be the best one. So guys, exclamation mark updates in the channel if you want to see this in more detail and if you want to check this out for yourself. And like I said, I will have the link down below if you're watching on YouTube so you can check it out. And I would love to know what you guys think. You know, what champs do you like here? Which ones don't you like? Are you surprised that we have more undead? I mean, it's Halloween time, right? It makes sense for Halloween champs. At least I think it does because it's Halloween. So I think undead makes sense. So I would love to know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our video, you can catch us live on twitch.tv/LeilaFoxNation 4 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on by and be part of our community, and we'll see you there.